You're listening to the Open Books Podcast.
Your next chapter starts now.
Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is she the one?
Welcome back to the Open Books Podcast. Today we are hitting y'all with something new and fresh. I think it's time for something new and fresh.
Like my hair.
Like your hair.
It just came to me because it is like a fresh. I got a fresh cut. I got a fresh color.
It looks so good.
I'm like, who is she?
Who is that girl? She walked in. I was like, wait a second.
Shout out to Tia at Virgo Beauty Studio. She did such a good job.
I'm like, who just walked in?
Thank
Who
you.
is the supermodel sitting next to me?
So I put on a fake tan last night too because I knew that I needed to get the full effect of what the hair is going to look like in the summer.
So you are at your peak.
Yes. Fake tan, new hair. Yeah.
Oh God.
But yes, this episode is new and fresh.
Yeah, it's hot off the shelf.
Hot off the shelf. So what is this hot off the shelf? What are we going to be doing?
We are talking about all of the new trending things happening in the week. Pop culture, celebrity gossip.
Yeah, totally.
Something that we kind of like throw into some episodes every week anyway. So, and we love to go off on our tangents about it. So why not have a new segment where we just talk about it?
Yeah, just dedicated to talking about pop culture, trending topics, things that are going on like right now, IRL, in real life.
You know what this is? It's our text messages
Yes.
in real life.
Exactly. It's literally our text thread come to life.
This is what, yeah. If you ever were like, gosh, I'm dying to know what they text about, this is it.
This type of shit. So anything that's going on that you want us to talk about, send it our
Please.
way.
Yeah, send it our way.
So before we get into it, I do want to let you guys know that this episode is brought to you by Classic Chaos, the trendiest clothing boutique in Chalmette. Join them this Saturday, May 10th, for their grand opening from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2515 Parish Road. Be one of the first 10 customers and score a free swag bag, plus enjoy refreshments while you shop the latest styles. Don't miss it. Classic Chaos is where fashion meets fun in Chalmette. I'm so excited for their grand opening for their new location.
So excited. If you follow them on Instagram, you probably saw that they just went to market not long ago. So they have all of these brand new items.
Hot off the shelf, if you will.
Hot off the shelf, correct,
Literally.
if you will. So they're starting their new location with a lot of new items.
That's so exciting.
I'm so excited. Anytime that I'm like, ooh, I need something, you can go to Classic Chaos and it's just like a reliable place to find a cute outfit.
100%, especially shoes. For me, if I need sandals, they are my girls.
And the best price.
So we're going to break down all the drama this week because there are some pretty crazy headlines this week, especially in the realm of TikTok. And we do send this stuff back and forth to each other, but we do try very hard to keep our major thoughts composed because we want them to be here on the podcast like authentically. So a lot of this we haven't like talked about in depth. So one of the first things we are going to talk about is Gypsy.
You sound like me.
Gypsy Rose's social media spiral.
Her meltdown, if you will.
Her meltdown. So we haven't caught up on Gyp in a while.
No, and she is someone that we like keep tabs on.
We definitely do. If you're new here, if you're new here, we actually read Gypsy's book when she was first getting released from prison. This was even before she was released from prison. We read her book. We broke it down on a podcast. We have a whole episode about it if y'all want to go listen to like some of her first initial thoughts. We break down the entire thing. So during the time of this book, she was married to Ryan.
Yes.
And she talked about Ken a lot in the book. She talked about him being her first love. She was so upset. And we said it on the podcast. We were like, there's something up with Gypsy and Ken.
They're getting back together. Like,
yeah.
We talked so much about it. We knew.
We called it. I could just tell the way she talked about him. There was hurt there.
She loves him.
She was in love.
She was in love.
So sure enough, if you follow Gypsy, she ends up like, she gets out of jail. She gets with Ryan. They're married. They start living together. They film the first season of their show. And you can watch it with your own eyes, their relationship really kind of spiral. He spirals, she spirals. It just was so much at once, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, and I remember one of the things that we talked a lot about was he's so clingy.
He was so
He's
clingy.
getting so clingy, and she is not feeling it. Well, now we know.
Well, now we know. She was definitely not feeling it. It was so interesting, like I said, to watch. Because you could see it all happen with your own eyes. Like, she just got out of prison. She really needed space and time.
Which she should have taken that.
Right.
I think we said that in our book episode too.
Yes, like there's definitely needs to be accountability for that on her, and to just say like I'm not ready for a marriage right now.
Yeah.
She wasn't like at all. Also, I think she still had the lingering hurt from Ken. She ends up back with Ken. So now we have season 2 where she is with Ken. She gets pregnant. Gypsy Rose has done so much in this past year of being out of prison. She
Than
went
most
through
people do in
a lifetime.
5 years.
Yeah. She went through a divorce. She got pregnant. She is now with her baby, which of course, a baby is a blessing, like amazing.
Right.
But her spiral is now, okay, so to backtrack a little bit, her and Ryan have had lots of back and forth social media feuds since said divorce, and I believe during filming, and even as of literally like a couple days ago when she posted her very bizarre video. But the back and forth is just like very messy high school breakup drama. Like they're just shooting fire at each other, shots fired constantly. So I haven't watched the new season in full, but I'm basically like a TikTok watcher. I watch clips on TikTok. He got really mad because I don't know if you saw exactly what like sent him over the edge, but on the show, Ryan's watching the show. Ken is like, Ken's talking to Gypsy, and he's like, well, Ryan is still in your life in some capacity. The divorce isn't final. And Gypsy's like, Ryan's just one of the public. He's part of the public.
Oh.
So Ryan gets on live on TikTok, and he's like, really, bitch? I'm one of the public? Public this. And he, like, throws out her pillows.
Wait, how did I miss that?
I don't know.
How did that not come across my FYP? I'm actually shocked. You know, last night I tried to go start season 2. I didn't realize it was out already. It came out March 10th, I think was the first episode.
Wow.
Where have we been? How are we just, it's because of her video. But I'm just like, we stay up to date with the Jip.
We do. We really do. I don't know why we haven't watched in full. Okay, to be fair,
Because
there's
it's
been
on
a lot.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
And you have to have like your cable provider link.
Please. If you're
And we'll
watching
watch.
this, send us your lifetime subscription.
Yeah, share it with us. Only for a little bit, and then you can change your password.
Yeah, it's
Kick
just-
us out and change password.
Yeah, because we need to keep up with the Jip. But that's what made her spiral. So then I sent you her video because I guess she saw Ryan like throwing all her shit out, which, why do you still have pillows? It was like pillows of him and Gypsy's faces.
This video is for Ryan Anderson.
Before I saw this video, I also have to mention her video at Jazz Fest, which like we're constantly in the crossfire of Gypsy Rose and we never see her, and it really bothers me.
We're like brushing elbows with Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy and I were both at Jazz Fest this past weekend watching Luke Combs, and I didn't run into her. And
That was it. Next to each other.
That was a huge miss for me. But at Jazz Fest, she's like, did you see that video where she's laying in the grass and she like really amps up the country accent? And she's like, I forget what she said, but it was hilarious. She was like, why are you still talking about me?
Yeah.
It was really freaky.
She does do some questionable videos.
Yeah, like,
I mean, really
sometimes-
questionable actions
Well,
too.
wait, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, like, sometimes I'm like, do you remember, like, what she did and why is she even in the zeitgeist? It's like, well, then I'm like, because she's a questionable person.
Yeah, like she did some really bad things.
But you can't help but be enthralled in the drama.
No, you can't. And then you're like, oh.
Like, we went
Go
over
listen-
all
yeah.
these trigger things in our episode. Like, we gave all these
We're moved past
forewarnings.
it.
Yeah, so we're qualified.
We're qualified to talk about Jip the way that we do because, like Colby said, we trigger warninged all the things already.
And we've done our extensive research.
Yeah.
So her video that she just posted was very strange. She starts crying. She aired out like so much family drama that is like, girl, put the phone away. She like casually threw out that when she was postpartum, she started reaching out to Ryan. She's like, and did I tell Ken? No, not at first, but he knows now. She literally says,
None of us would have known any of that if she just like did it.
no. And Gypsy, it doesn't make you look great because it does, like, if you're wanting people to, like, I don't know, be on
your
Team
side.
Gypsy,
Yeah.
it does make you seem like you're leading Ryan on a lot because he's clearly, like, still enamored with Jip, feels very hurt and betrayed, and, like, as he should, like, she did him kind of dirty. Although he was being annoying, like, I will give that to Gypsy, like, it wasn't probably the right person for her, but still. So she's airing out the dirty laundry that she was messaging him when she was postpartum, which, like, hurtful to Ken. Like,
Yeah, imagine being Ken.
right. Girl, you got to pick one.
She's totally trying to have both of them in her life.
She is. And she said this, and I was like, there it is, Gypsy. She said, Ken is my love, but you were my comfort.
Which is also like
Why did you
cringe.
post that?
Why? And like, if you had to get it off your chest, and maybe video was your chosen platform, maybe not post it. Delete it. You got it out. Watch it back. Delete it.
Or send it to him.
Or send it to him.
I mean, and
he
there's a
would
risk
probably
that he
have
would
leaked
post it,
He would
yeah.
have posted it. But it's kind of like the equivalent of, I need to journal my thoughts, and like you just rage and then you rip it up, you burn it, you throw it away. That would be like Matt and Josh divorcing us.
Mm-hmm.
They had like,
They wouldn't because they would be dead.
okay, true.
Like I
For
would
legal
murder.
purposes, that's a joke.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's just a
Okay,
joke.
it's a joke, guys. How hurtful. Like
Yeah.
they were with a new girl, but they were just like, Colby and I were just like part of the public. I'm sorry.
That's what he said. He's like, part of the public. I was your husband. I saw someone in the comments say, like, Gypsy is the Ryan in her relationship with Ken. Because he, in the clips, looks so fed up with Gypsy. Now, obviously, y'all, this is a show. They edit things a certain way. They only show a certain thing. So, like, I'm not saying that Ken is not in love with Gypsy. But from the clips and from the way that they edit it,
No
he
shit.
is so annoyed with her. I just watched one clip, and then I'll let go of the Gypsy so that way you could watch it. But I did just watch one clip where they're at dinner. And she's pregnant, and he wants her to try like an octopus, like an interesting type of food, and she really doesn't want to. Like, my girl does not want to do it, and he is being like, "Just try the food." Ken, he's like, "Gypsy, just try the food. Like, it's not that serious." And she's like, "I really don't want to," and she's like trying to laugh it off, and she doesn't do it. And so he says, "You're so disappointing." Like, deadass tells her, "You're so disappointed," and she like looks defeated. She's like, then the waiter comes back and is like, "How is it?" And she says, "Oh, it was great. Like, I would have done the same thing." Like,
100% would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "It was great." And he goes, "She's lying. She didn't try it." Like, he embarrassed her. So after she walks away, after
Ew,
the waiter,
Ken.
yeah,
This disgusting behavior.
it was nasty. So the waitress walks away and she's like, "Where's the bathroom?" And she goes in the bathroom and cries.
I would
'Cause she
have
felt-
cried at the table.
Me too. And she's like, and she told the waiter, like, "I'm sorry, I'm just pregnant. Like, I just don't really." So I was like, Ken, what's going on?
Be so fucking for
But
real
maybe
right
he's so
now.
over her. Like, the whole thing is a fucking mess. But I can't look
It
away.
sounds exhausting.
Yeah,
No,
it does.
Of course we can't. That's why they have a TV show.
Exactly. So if you have any opinions on that, send them our way. We'll
We
keep you all
cannot
abreast.
wait. Keep you abreast. Yeah. Let us know. Sound off.
Team Gypsy, Team Ryan,
you
Team
team?
Ken.
I don't know if many people are gonna be Team Ken.
I don't
I
think.
just don't hear many people. That's not.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are some.
There are some, maybe. I think Ryan has a lot of sympathizers right now.
James Charles.
Have you not heard of the James
I haven't
Charles
heard
drama?
any of it. That's why when you brought it up,
What's
again,
up with your FYP right now?
I don't know.
This is
I kind of feel like I
everywhere.
need to do a scroll.
Amber, this is everywhere. But you know what? Maybe
Wait.
that's good.
Wait.
Let me see if
I just want to. Let's just see real quick, like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
What's on the FYP?
keep scrolling. I want to see within the first 5 minutes if James Charles comes up.
All right. I started teaching my daughter sign language at 5 months old. Oh, eating with Kate.
Queen.
Shout out. Katie.
Hard candy with the surprise center.
Get ready with me. Jake Shane and Alex
Wow.
Earl. Us.
Queens.
I used to really keep up with him. I used
Yeah.
to legit watch his YouTube videos.
So were you part of Beauty Community 2016 YouTube?
yes,
Yeah, I was too like deep.
deep.
Yeah, I missed that era.
Every scandal,
Dramageddon.
every yes, every new vlog that came up, I was there for it. I was watching it. Smoky eye tutorial.
Right. Manny MUA, Laura Lee. I
Yep.
still love both of them.
Jaclyn Hill.
Yep, her lipstick scandal. That was
Lips.
huge.
Again, shout out Jeffree Star.
To keep you abreast on the James Charles, so he's had a lot of controversy over the years. He's been accused of some pretty like heinous things. So everything that I'm about to say is alleged, completely alleged, and he is known to be Sue Happy. So just putting that out there that everything I'm saying is alleged.
And
This
it's
is
for
just
entertainment purposes.
only, and this is just what I have heard on the internet. But it is everywhere right now, and I am shocked it hasn't come across your FYP. So I'll try to keep it short. I do have like a little bit of a summary here because it is a lot. Have you ever heard of an influencer named Kayla Malec?
I think I'm thinking of the wrong person. I'm thinking of the girl with the heavy accent.
Okay, I don't think this is her.
Okay, then
this
I don't.
girl just has like a normal LA accent.
Okay, then I've like really like phased out of the new beauty community.
The beauty community, the
I
TikTok
kind of
beauty
like.
community.
I want her Instagram. She's got 726,000 followers on Insta.
think she's gonna have even more.
Oh, I'm sure. Kayla Malec. 16.5 million with 1 billion likes.
Holy shit!
How I
have
must
we
have like
missed
this
her?
cute little TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, so curated, and she's not maybe our particular audience. She's a lot younger.
Okay, I'm so like okay, tell me. I need to know.
So this is what happened. Kayla Malec had a boyfriend named Evan Johnson. Again, I wasn't following them when this was all happening. I've only just recently like started following and being interested because of the drama. So Kayla Malec was dating Evan Johnson, and they had like an influencer relationship. I don't believe Evan Johnson it's Johnston, I think, was an influencer before he started dating Kayla, but then he turned into one because of, that naturally that happens. So James Charles and Kayla were friends. As close of friends as they are, I'm not really sure. He says one thing, other people say the other. That they were very close, he says they really weren't. But Kayla and Evan were in like a couple years long relationship. I'm not sure how long they were together. But James Charles had texted Kayla and asked if her and Evan wanted to be part of a collab for his painted, whatever like new palette he has out. So she replies and says, I want to read you these messages. Okay. So he texted Kayla and said, do you want to be in a painted video with your man? She replies and says, this is January 27th. She replies and says, I'm not even joking, this made me pissed. I broke up with him fucking last night. I saw your story and was crashing out. LMAO. Tune in for the 30-part Who the Fuck Did I Marry series. He says, what? And she said, girl, he's fucking crazy. James says, what happened? Can I have him now? LMFAO. I'm so sorry, Kayla, you deserve better. Let's just pause at that. Can I have him now?
Can I have him now?
Who says that? Who says that?
It's not the time for that joke.
Right. So she says, imagine like, he said, I'm sorry, Kayla, you deserve better. She said, imagine like the worst thing a human can do to you. It would take hours to text it, but you'll see the series soon because WTF, LMAO. But thank you so much. Congrats on all the painted love. And he said, oh God, you're actually doing a series on it. I'm sorry. And then they talked a little bit more. So that's what he exposed. So then she gets on.
So did she ever actually do the series?
Yes. So she gets on her YouTube and does like this hour-long video or series, and she explains what happened between them. And she alleges serious DV, domestic violence, like crazy stuff. More than just pushing and shoving, like he was punching her in the face, he broke her jaw, he was like slamming her up against the wall, calling her very derogatory terms, scary, scary stuff. So James sees this and then proceeds to become friends with Evan Johnson. I guess Evan reached out to James. I don't know why. And somehow he ended up at James's house.
James does this type of shit, though, I feel.
Kayla finds out and texts James, is like, are you with Evan? And James lies and says no. And that is when this guy named Zach Sellers comes in. Zach Sellers was Evan's best friend. And he went on this, like, big expose against James Charles interview with this guy's, he's a very popular TikToker who kind of like exposes influencers. His name's Bieber. So they did an interview. I watched it like in 2x speed. And basically Zach Sellers just talks about like how disgusting James Charles is. He was like, I was best friends with Evan before I knew what happened. And they were texting all day, every day. He was
James and Evan?
James and Evan after he had found out.
Is this romantic?
So I think like the big thing with James that people don't like and are very put off by is that he seems to, allegedly, in the past,
All alleged,
and now have a thing for straight men, which puts other people off because he is a gay man, and it comes across predatory because he has so much power and influence that it is an abuse of power. The dynamic there is not right for you to be, Zach alleges he was doing with Evan. Come over, I have this big fancy house, like I'll protect you. Because James comes on and says that Evan told him another story. Evan told him that Kayla is going to make up these lies about him. James chose to just believe Evan.
but he was friends with Kayla.
And he was friends with Kayla. James chose to believe Evan, not ex Kayla, about it, and House, her ex-boyfriend, who she posted a series about abusing him. So James finally responds. He posts this video and he speaks very matter of fact. He doesn't stutter. When I watch it, I'm a very gullible person too. I will, if someone says something that sounds believable, I have to be better at that because I'm quick to be that kind of
makes sense.
Right. I have to be better at having a wider perspective, because when I saw his video and he's talking very matter of fact, he's like, I did not do this, I did not do that. The relationship was not sexual, because his friend Zach alleged that it was a sexual relationship, and that he was was basically insinuating that he was a really terrible piece of shit friend because James to Kayla, because he was
allegedly
housing an abuser
sleeping with
the abuser.
Got it.
So James comes on and is like, that is not true. I wasn't sleeping with him. I just felt bad for him. I was naive. He manipulated me.
Oh, come on.
So then she posts videos, Kayla, of the literal abuse. I won't even play it right now because it's that traumatic, but you have to go watch it when we leave. But in the video, she's screaming, crying, and she's like, you broke my fucking jaw. And she's hiding the phone. And he says, good for you. Good, I'm glad. He says something really ugly to her. I won't even say it because it's a very derogatory term. But he it's all in the video. So he went to jail.
And she posted this on TikTok.
She posted it to be manipulation. This is what happened.
Right.
So now this person is he went to jail. I believe he got bailed out, the guy, Evan.
Of course.
So this drama is bigger than just silly little.
No, this is actual. Yeah, this isn't just beauty influencer drama.
No, this is big, big, big time drama. So I guess, and then something James said that I was true, is why is all the focus on me right now? Let's focus on the actual victim, the real problem at hand. Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. But also why did you get involved?
That's deflecting, though. That seems deflecting to me, because now you're in hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's don't focus on me, focus on the victim. Yeah, sure. But I think those two worlds can both exist.
Right. And let's really question, why are you in the middle of this?
I actually didn't know about the Karen Reed trial until I went to my mom's house one day and she was watching it. And I was like, what is this? Because I just noticed she was watching it on YouTube. She's like, wait, you don't know about the Karen Reed trial? I'm like, no, where have I been? I really can't believe I didn't hear about this. So I have been watching live on YouTube with a account called Ricada Law. So he basically streams the whole thing live on YouTube, and he gives commentary. So he used to be a lawyer and gives kind of background. So he's someone good if you wanted to kind of just jump in. But he has scandal too, but I won't get into that.
Wow, that's also a lot of work.
A lot.
He's really clocking in.
He's really clocking it in. So here's just some background. So Karen Reed is on trial for second-degree murder of a police officer who was her boyfriend, John O'Keefe.
Okay, so she's on trial for the murder of her boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
But she's being tried for murder.
Okay.
The case revolves around whether Reed hit O'Keefe with her SUV and left him to die in the snowstorm. There was a snowstorm this night. Or whether he was killed inside the home of a fellow officer. This guy's name was Brian Albert. And then they staged his body in the snow to make it look like he was hit.
Okay.
All right.
And this is her car that it could be with?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So there's some key events where this went down. So the night of the incident, Karen Reed, and John O'Keefe were out drinking with their friends. And this was January 28th, 2022. So the Brian Albert, they're all at this place. I believe it was called. I can't believe I don't know. They say it so many times in the trial.
It was at a bar?
They're at a bar.
Okay.
And then after, it was kind of a let's keep this party going. Mm-hmm. And they all went to a friend's house.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of where this was. The next morning, John was found dead in the snow outside of Brian Albert's house.
Outside of his friend's house. Okay.
In the snow.
Was Karen with them the night of the drinking, or that's in question?
She was with them.
Okay.
Reed claims she dropped John off at that house and left, and then came back later and found him in the snow.
Got it.
So the defense, they say that John was beaten inside the house by Brian Albert and whoever else was there. They did something to him, and then they took him outside and staged his death. Mm-hmm. They claim there's a cover-up by law enforcement to protect other officers, because apparently a lot of the people that were there were all involved in law enforcement. Like John was a police officer, Brian Albert's a police officer. Like they're all involved some kind of way.
Do we know what state this is in?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
So they also point to alleged, like there's lack of evidence inside the Karen Reed's car, and the injuries are inconsistent with being hit by a car. That's what the defense is arguing.
Okay.
However, prosecution says Reed was drunk and angry. She hit O'Keefe with her SUV and she left the scene. They cite that the taillight debris. Okay, so that was the other thing. Her taillight on her car was cracked. And they say that they found debris of the cracked taillight in the snow by his body.
Got it.
But however, other people that were at the crime scene to like investigate and were saying that at that time there wasn't any taillight.
Oh, okay.
But now y'all are here, now there's taillight. It gets really, it's weird. Like I am
messy.
still like, I don't know where I stand.
Oh my
A
gosh.
lot of people believe she's innocent though.
Really? Because I, just based off what you're hearing, I'm suspicious of her.
Well, I automatically was like, well, she did it.
Right.
There's just a lot of like weird things. So there's also cell phone data. They pulled her cell phone data, and they're claiming there is a video. What is that called? Body cam.
Body cam, yeah.
Footage of Karen Reed, very like distraught and saying, "I hit him. I hit him. I hit him."
Oh.
But the defense, they're saying like, and she also put out a documentary, right? So
Oh, this is the other thing, right? I was so confused when you're like, there's a documentary, but there's also a in real life trial.
So she was, this case was tried, but it wasn't like a double jeopardy thing. Like it was a hung jury. They could not come to a consensus.
Got it. Okay.
So in between that and this trial where she's being tried for murder, there's a documentary released, A Body in the Snow, the trial of Karen Reed. So I watched that, and that's kind of what really catapulted me into this whole like deep dive into it. So in the documentary, she says, well, yeah, because of course I'm drunk and I'm wondering like, maybe I hit him. Could I have hit him? Like that's what was going through my mind. Okay. And I'm like, for me, I just feel like.
What do you mean maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm drunk and I hit someone, like.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Like how are you just like, maybe I hit him?
Maybe I did.
The documentary, I still don't know where I stand. There are some times where I'm like, she didn't do it. I don't think she did it. But then I'm also like, you dropped him off. You say he went inside. Every other person at that party get together says that he never made it inside.
Oh.
So
everyone
all
else says
of
he never
these
came
people
in.
that are there all got together and conspired, and they're like, we're going to say he wasn't in here. So it's all these people against Karen Reed. It's word. She said he never made it inside. Also, the way that they found the body was like at the far end of the yard. Like if you were like walking on a street, and then it's just like some very like bizarre things. So
This is a crazy case.
it's very crazy. And honestly, I still get so confused because there's so many different people that are taking the stand to testify that I can't keep up with the story. But as of the latest, so there was a key witness. Her name is Jen McCabe. And she was at that house as well. And she apparently Googled how long to die in the cold at 2:27 a.m. But she like misspelled how long. So I think it was like some whatever. Before he was found. But a second expert.
Ooh, that gave me chills.
Yeah, a second expert testified that search actually happened after the body was discovered. Also very weird. Jen McCabe was testifying for hours and days. Like she's always on the stand. The other thing is they found 44 missed calls from Karen Reed to John O'Keefe the night he died. And they also played the voicemails in the courtroom. And I mean, she was like calling him a pervert. So like that adds another layer. I know you're with her. I know you're cheating on me. I'm home with your kids. Your kids are home alone.
Whoa. So something really rocky was going on.
There's more to the story that I truly believe
Way
that.
more.
I think there's way more. There's layers. A police officer testified that Karen said something like, alleged, like, I don't know how I did it last night when she saw her broken tail light, fueling the idea that she did hit him with the car. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Did what?
The defense is saying police use household stuff like Solo cups. This is true. They use red Solo cups to collect like blood droplets at the scene.
Well, that doesn't sound like proper practice.
Prosecutors argue that even if that is true, like that's going to help Karen, not hurt her. But I heard some things like they've never really had like a big case like this, and that's really all they had. And they knew they had to collect and bag evidence, but when they arrived, they didn't have like the proper items.
They're not
to do
used
that
to murder
protocol.
trials, I suppose.
Yeah, like, but still, I just feel like that is like improper. Like, I don't even know if you can use evidence like that at some point.
It definitely
because
doesn't feel
it
right.
gets thrown out. Today was day 12 of the trial.
Oh my god.
Of the second trial. So tomorrow's gonna be day 13. It usually starts around 8 a.m. It's like literally I put it on while I work.
Okay, I'm hooked.
That's in the background.
This reminds me so much of a case, the case of Robert Wan. I think I told you about it a long time ago on the podcast. Do you remember? And it's the same. It gave me the same type of like body chills and like heebie-jeebies on the inside because it's like, you know, people know more, but you don't know really who knows more. But the creepy part about it is, and just like the scary and sad part is like there's answers here.
Someone knows.
Someone knows, and that's it gave me chills.
And they're in that courtroom. Like,
yep,
y'all know.
Yep. Okay.
And there's so much more that like I didn't even touch on. Like there's so many. Like I know, people might comment and be like, actually, this is what happened. This was happening, and maybe like I did like misspeak on some things, but for the most part, like that's like the bigger things. But there's so many other details that are huge that are connected to this case that I don't even remember.
Yeah, and that complicate things, I'm sure, times a million.
Yes.
This is a hard case.
This is hard.
Is it a jury that's gonna? Oh my gosh, can you imagine
being on that jury?
Oh
my
God. So the 2025 Met Gala, held on May 5th, embraced the theme Superfine, tailored by Black style, inspired by Monica L. Miller's book Slaves to Fashion. The accompanying costume institution exhibit delves into the role of fashion in shaping Black identity. So the dress code applied, titled Tailored for You, encouraged attendees to interpret the theme through bespoke menswear and suiting, celebrating individuality and cultural heritage. But do you have anything about like what the Met Gala is? Because I actually don't have that.
Yeah, so the Met Gala is an annual charity event where they raise money for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Once I saw someone say, and I'll never unsee or unthink it, but it definitely gives Hunger Games. Like celebrities, people with high power, dressed completely.
All going to the same place.
All going to say they're all dressed like in a very particular, curious, unique way. Just gives Hunger Games. Like if you think back to... like right before they go into the Hunger Games, they have those big interviews and everybody's dressed with the crazy hats with and the crazy colors.
Like the neck pieces.
Yes, feathers and colors and crazy makeup. I'm like, who was your best dress? Like, what was your favorite moment?
Okay, my favorite was Doechii and her Louis Vuitton number.
The Louis Vuitton number with the vest and the shorts.
The vest, the shorts. She even had like the makeup was like raised with an LV.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh my gosh, right on her cheek. Kind of looked like a scar.
Ooh, that's cool.
Obsessed. That was my favorite.
Really
also,
cool.
I thought Rihanna looked really nice.
I was going to say she was my favorite.
And she's pregnant now.
I like her pregnancy moments. Like
She's iconic for that.
She is, and I love that she's just like bringing, I don't know, so much light into being pregnant and like motherhood, because she makes a moment out of every pregnancy. Super Bowl. Yep. Sabrina Carpenter, I loved her.
That was really good. She was Louis Vuitton too, wasn't she?
I think so. She looks good in anything.
Anything. She could have like worn a vest over a garbage bag.
Totally. But you know where my mind goes when I see these things? I'm like, is it awkward because her ex Barry Keoghan is there and they were at the Met Gala together last year? I think about that a lot.
You think he like stays up and thinks about her?
I think how could you not?
Right.
Like, how do you fumble Sabrina Carpenter?
I didn't love his look.
I didn't love his look either. Well, I know, and guys are hard.
Guys are hard. A$AP Rocky looked good.
Yeah, he's a very beautiful person. Him and Rihanna, they're just so fly.
They are. They're just like effortlessly cool.
So true. I miss seeing JB, miss seeing Justin. Hailey Bieber also looks good.
The fact that they weren't there together, though.
I know. Well, we do have a Justin Bieber topic just to bring in, so we could transition. Mm-hmm. So last episode, we talked a bit about Justin Bieber and how, you know, if he has no fans, we're dead. He can do no wrong. But, you know, I'm a little worried about the Biebs. I don't know. Something seems a little off.
Something seems off.
He's just, I think, if I had to guess, like, I think that he's been through so much in his young life, and now he's reaching this point that I think he's just over it and he's done, and he doesn't care what he looks like, who he offends.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you're right with that.
yeah, I don't know, but some videos he looks a little unwell. He also like suffers with his health a lot. That I think a lot of people forget.
It's sad. He looks rough right now.
I know, it really breaks my heart because
He's such a beautiful person.
he is, and he was once so lively. But I think he's been through a lot. I mean, obviously, all we know is what we see through paparazzi, and like
That ain't nothing.
nothing. That's so minuscule
There's
to what their
so
actual life
much,
is.
yeah.
So I'm sure that they live a happy life at home together, him and Haley, and she's always glowing. So
Yes.
I do wonder though, like it does make me go like, I just hope he's okay. That's all I hope.
We're praying for you,
Seriously.
Beebs.
I'm praying for the Biebs. I really hope he's okay.
Praying for the Beebs.
Books to movies?
Let's do it.
Oh, book to movie adaptations are definitely trending in 2024, 2025.
And this is like right up our alley.
Right up our alley. Obviously, The Ends with Us turned into like a big, giant shit show with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively drama of it all. That just really turned so messy. It's still so messy. So I'm just like, I think about Colleen Hoover, because obviously we're going to talk about Verity being the next. And she's probably just like, please, God, do not let this shit happen again.
I know.
That was-
I guess she's like, let's try this again.
Let's try this again. So, Verity is one of the ones that we're most excited for. We have Anne Hathaway as Verity Crawford, the enigmatic author at the center of the story. Dakota Johnson as Lowen Ashley, a struggling writer hired to complete Verity's book series. And Josh Hartnett as Jeremy Crawford, Verity's husband, who brings Lowen into their home. The film is directed by Michael Showalter, a screenplay by Nick Anatoska. Anne Hathaway also serves as a producer on the project. So, what do you think about this casting?
I think it's beautifully casted.
I agree.
I like the cast. I think for a second I wasn't right on board with Dakota Johnson. I really wanted.
Victoria Pedretti.
Thank you. That's who I wanted
Yeah.
as Lowen, but I'll take this. I'm happy with this.
Victoria Pedretti would have made an amazing Lowen. She's just such
She
a
can
great
be
actress.
casted in any
could.
type of thriller.
I need her to get her flowers too, because she is such an amazing actress. She needs to be like recognized for that
She
more
should.
and cast in more things. But I agree. I'm pumped to see Anne Hathaway as Verity. I could totally see her as being scary and stone cold like Verity was.
She's gonna kill that role.
She's very captivating
She is.
as an actress and as a person. And that's how I felt about Verity in the
Verity's
book.
gonna be so good.
Do you know how long ago we read Verity, and I still remember exactly like what happens in the book? Like that was one of my favorite books.
That was a good book.
It was good.
I
Some
wanna
people
reread
think
it.
it's like overrated, but I really
No,
loved it.
Verity was good.
We are definitely going to reread and do something big.
Big for Verity.
Verity. What's the next one? The Housemaid.
The Housemaid.
So we have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I'm pumped for Miss Frida to get an adaptation of
good
one of
for
her.
you, Frida.
No one works harder than Frida McFadden.
No,
She puts in the work.
she'd be churning out those books.
She really does. But we have Sydney Sweeney as Millie, a young woman who becomes a housemaid for a wealthy family. Amanda Seyfried as Nina Winchester, the sophisticated yet secretive wife. And Brandon Sklenar as Andrew Winchester, Nina's husband. Michelle Marone as Enzo, the mysterious and alluring groundskeeper.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
What could be a better cast
Mwah.
for
Chef's
Enzo?
kiss. I know.
Like,
he's perfect.
he's perfect.
Perfect for
And,
Enzo.
and we feel connected to Enzo because we read all three.
all three
of the Housemaid books.
books. Except,
That's a flex.
that is a flex. Except I hated
That last book.
that last book and how the audio made Enzo sound.
Enzo.
Enzo.
It was like a terrible Italian
Horrible
accent.
Italian accent.
But Michelle Marone casted as Enzo for this movie couldn't be better.
Oh God.
I could see Sydney Sweeney as Millie.
Yes.
only-
Amanda. Was that yours?
Amanda Seyfried wasn't my pick. The only reason I'm questioning that is because I remember in the book they made Frida made Nina to be like a little bit less attractive. She called her like a little more overweight because if you remember, spoiler, Nina like specifically tries to become less attractive to get away from the husband.
Yes.
And like I just picture Amanda Seyfried as like this tiny beautiful woman. So I pictured someone like of a little different stature, but I
No,
think
that's
she's
a good
gonna
way to
do
put
a good
it.
job.
That's a good way to put it.
You could see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. I think that's maybe where my mind went to. It's
Yeah.
not how they described her in the book.
But I could see Sydney as like the little naive housemaid who just comes in with like big tits and Looks amazing
a
all the
nice
time.
face.
Yeah. Okay. Are we done?
I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's really it.
Beautiful. I think the only thing left for us is our next on the shelf. Today's next on the shelf is brought to you by Motion by Millie. Step into your strongest self at Motion by Millie, the ultimate Pilates studio where movement meets luxury. From reformer flows that sculpt and burn to the icy edge of the signature cold plunge, every visit is a reset for your body and your mind. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned Pilates pro, there's space for you here. Trust us, this isn't just a workout, it is a lifestyle. Book your first class now on the MindBody app. Simply search Motion by Millie and select the class of your choice. That takes us into our next on the shelf. I do want to remind you that we are reading 2 books right now. For the month of May, we're reading All Systems Red. That is for the Murderbot Diaries.
Yes. It's very confusing because the title of the series is called The Murderbot
Yes.
Diaries, but the first book
Thank you.
Is All
It's
Systems
Red. But we are going to talk a little bit about Great Big Beautiful Life. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist, still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize winning human thundercloud, and they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with one who claims to be the Margaret Ives. Tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. We'll stop right there.
That's a great place to stop.
That is because it keeps going, but I
Yeah.
don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, so we're
So-
both like, I don't know, getting close to halfway through the book.
Yes.
And we'll save our thoughts for the podcast, but it's definitely one that we want you guys to read with us because it's a lot to talk about. This is our first Emily Henry book, so I'm excited to dive into something a little bit different.
A little different.
Yeah, so send us your thoughts. So we're doing a giveaway for this book, a hard copy of it, so check our social media for the details.
Sounds good.
Okay, this was such a fun episode.
So much fun. Let us know what you think about this type of episode.
Yeah, hot off the shelf, coming to you each week with like the most hot pressing topics.
It's so cute.
I love it. All right, thank y'all for listening. Follow us at Open Books Podcast on Instagram and the Open Books Podcast on TikTok, and leave us a review. Stop what you're doing right now before you leave this episode. Go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. We know that's how we reach our audience. We have huge goals this year, and we really need our loyal listeners to help us reach them by simply just, it takes 2 seconds. Go to the Apple Podcast app, say, love y'all, bye. That's all you have
That's
to
all
do.
we need. And if you love us, let everyone know.
Yes, thank y'all. Bye.
Love you. Bye.